From Michael Weatherly's shocking misconduct to Polly Perrette's mysterious departure from the show, let's explore the dark side of NCIS. First off, I'm about to uncover a that shook the series to its core. Involving one of the show's most prominent actresses, it's about Polly Perrette. Her sudden departure from the series was always very suspicious, and shortly after she left the show, she spilled the tea on why she quit in a series of mysterious tweets that left everyone scratching their heads. Apparently, she'd been bullied and physically assaulted during her time on the show, and she wasn't going to take it anymore. Now, she didn't reveal who was responsible for the abuse or what exactly went down, but she did warn everyone else to stay safe and speak up if they ever feel uncomfortable at work. Honestly, props to her for being brave enough to speak and protect others. But what makes the whole situation so bad is that CBS television studios responded to the allegations with a very vague statement. The representative said that they take workplace concerns seriously and are committed to a safe work environment. Okay. Now, despite this drama, Perrette still made sure to give a shout out to the network for listening to her and having her back. Hopefully, they can work together to make sure nobody else has to deal with the same unfortunate situation she did. So it didn't end with Polly Perrette, because after her, Sasha Alexander also wanted out of the show. At the end of season 2, her character, Special Agent Kate Todd, was killed off, and it turns out that was all thanks to Sasha herself. Reportedly, she couldn't take the heat anymore. In fact, NCIS creator and then showrunner Donald Bellisario revealed the details behind her shocking exit. He said that Sasha came into his office in tears, and she said that she couldn't handle the long work hours and grueling schedule. I mean, they do over 24 episodes a year, which is a lot. Mind you, that's almost 17 hours a day for over 6 months. But Sasha has no regrets. She's happily married with her 2 kids and doing creative projects she loves. Now, let's be real. She did an even better job on Rizzoli and Isles afterward. I mean, that show is killer. Clearly, she knew what was best for her.
You have your own refrigerator. Impressive.
Okay, what do you want to talk to me about?
Could you ever be married to a caretaker?
And this is a pressing question because...
Oh, I was just thinking about you and Casey.
And followed her heart. But just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, there's something else. Even Mark Harmon had some serious beef with the show's producer, Donald Bellisario. Apparently, after working 17-hour days every day, the actor had enough of Donald's chaotic management style and unrealistic demands. In fact, the situation got so bad that the producer was reportedly forced out of the show after months of feuding with Mark. I guess micromanaging every little detail and making changes to the script at the very last minute wasn't working out for anyone. Now, let's be real. Mark's the real star of NCIS. I mean, he's been holding down the fort as Agent Gibbs since day one, and I think we can all agree that he's the real reason everyone keeps coming back for more. Sure, Bellisario definitely had some influence on the show as well, despite these conflicts. Still, it looks like the show's in good hands with Mark at the helm. After all, he's been through the ringer with this series, which is exactly why the series couldn't afford to make him unhappy. Thankfully, he's still going strong. But while tensions on set may have died down after Bellisario's departure, the show faced another major disruption when Cote de Pablo unexpectedly left. Honestly, everyone was surprised when she announced her departure before filming for season 11 began. After all, she duly portrayed everyone's favorite character, Special Agent Ziva David, for 8 consecutive seasons. What's really shocking here is that her co-star, Polly Perrette, revealed that she found this out only 20 minutes before the official press release. David McCallum was also frustrated and angry at Cote's sudden departure. He said that he couldn't understand how the show's leading lady would suddenly walk away like that, and that too, just a couple of days before the start of the production. Now, it looks like there may have been some behind-the-scenes drama that influenced her decision. Years later, the actress spoke about it during a panel for her film, The 33. She revealed that the major reason was the intense political atmosphere on the set. Plus, she wasn't happy with the changes being made to her scripts. She also added that she spent 8 years crafting her character, but then she felt like her character wasn't being treated with the respect it deserved. Still, she insisted that there was no drama among the cast. But it looks like it wasn't just her fans who weren't ready to bid her character adieu just yet. Because neither was Cote, she made her much-awaited comeback in season 16 and gave the right closure to her character.
From the crew, and they just started clapping. I looked around and I went, woohoo! I'm home!
Speaking of unexpected twists, did you know that Michael Weatherly actually has a criminal record? Well, back in 2015, he found himself in hot water when, in the early morning hours, the Los Angeles police pulled him over for speeding. But that was just the beginning of his problems. It turns out he'd been drinking. He was arrested and charged with DUI. Now, the punishment for such a serious offense is usually quite severe. TMZ reported that the actor could have faced up to 6 months in prison, plus a hefty $2,000 fine for his actions. But lucky for him, he managed to avoid a harsh sentence, and instead, he received 3 years probation. Hold on, that wasn't all. He was also required to complete an alcohol program and take a course with mothers against drunk driving. Now, despite his relatively lenient sentence, he decided to leave his role on NCIS shortly after the incident. He also took to Twitter to express his gratitude for the show's cast and crew and thanked his fans around the world. But just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Michael Weatherly was later accused of sexual misconduct as well. So, 2 years after leaving the show, he was accused of sexual misconduct by the actress Eliza Dushku while filming Bull. Then, the New York Times revealed that Dushku was paid a whopping $9.5 million in a confidential settlement.
Michael Weatherly with news of a $9.5 million harassment settlement. The problem became known as part of the network's larger investigation into harassment concerns at the company.
Right after accusing Weatherly of making inappropriate comments on set, apparently, the former NCIS star suggested a trio, and he even joked about inviting her to his van, where he inflicts abuse on women. Damn, he was right to leave NCIS. Honestly, good riddance. Anyway, when she confronted him about his behavior, he allegedly texted CBS television studio's presenter to discuss her lack of sense of humor. Due to this, she was fired from the show. Now, when the details became public, Weatherly issued an apology that people found to be very lame, saying that he was mortified to have offended Eliza. Obviously, she wasn't having any of it. She later wrote an op-ed for the Boston Globe and described how she was sick of being told she couldn't take a joke while she was just doing her job and didn't want to be harassed. Still, after Mark's rocky exit from the show, the series has some big shoes to fill, and they thought they hit the jackpot with Wilmer Valderrama. It turns out he's no stranger to controversy himself. In fact, this charmer has a real-life reputation for being quite the player, and he's never been shy about sharing details of his dating life with the media. So he once sat down with Howard Stern for an interview that was a little too much information for comfort. During the discussion, he spilled all the juicy details about his romantic relationships with some of Hollywood's hottest stars, like Lindsay Lohan, Mandy Moore, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Ashley Simpson, among others. Now, let me just say that the discussion involved some pretty graphic descriptions of his flings, which rubbed many fans the wrong way. But that's not all. In 2014, the Daily Beast published an article, and they didn't hold back in their criticism of the actor's career and personal life. The publication even linked him to the leak of racy photos, allegedly featuring him and his then girlfriend Demi Lovato. Plus, they weren't fans of the 13-year age gap between the couple. The article also stated that Wilmer was culturally irrelevant and that he had to resort to his young girlfriend's body to stay relevant in the celebrity conversation. So that was your look at the dark side of NCIS.